Hello and welcome to The Gaily Show. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Izzy.
And this is the news. Rachel Maddow is having the best Pride Month ever after starting the month off with 34 consecutive orgasms, reading aloud Trump's convictions.
The eastern U.S. is experiencing a major heat wave. However, the weather in Mar-a-Lago is in and it's looking a little stormy.
To quote Jojo Siwa, karma's a bitch, and sometimes a critically acclaimed adult film actress. While on stand, Stormy Daniels admitted to spanking Donald Trump with a newspaper, though the judge cut her off before she could explain. It was because he peed on the carpet. Bad boy. Bad boy.
Dr. Phil interviewed Donald Trump in what I can only describe as a 2-hour ass-kissing contest. To save you 2 hours of your life, he was basically stroking Trump's nasty, orange, saggy ego the entire time. And you know what? I hate to say it, but Daniel Bergoli was right. That man is a bald-headed bitch.
While undergoing trial, the judge placed a gag order on Donald Trump, who, ironically, placed a gag order on everybody in the courtroom by consistently shitting his pants.
Biden was seen at a Juneteenth celebratory concert zoning out for quite a while, but to be fair, he was probably just remembering the very first Juneteenth celebration. He really looks like he was trying to update software in his brain from Windows 1 to Windows 10. And after the reboot, he was delighted to hear that he was the President of the United States.
Trump and Biden will hold their first presidential debate this week. It will be the first ever presidential debate sponsored by Life Alert.
RuPaul, I'm so sorry about that. RuPaul just partnered with Monster High to create the scariest doll yet. She is serving Dragon Queen realness, and dare I say, sexier than the sexy dragon from Shrek. She not only throws shade, but she lurks in it. And simply put, this doll slays in the literal sense.
The Pope said the F slur again. And even worse, he used it to describe Jesus.
A Florida teen was denied entry into prom for wearing a suit. This led to public outcry because this is just blatant discrimination. You know, people say, well, she could have worn a sexy hunter costume or a sexy redneck costume. And you know, they won't let a kid in wearing a suit, but they'll let this guy in who's clearly hallucinating having a prom date. There's no one there.
Commemorative Biden-Trump 2024 coins are now for sale, showing the opposing candidate in jail on one side. So if come November you still don't know who to vote for, you can just flip heads or jails.
Nicki Minaj is expanding her Pink Friday 2 tour, now coming to location at least 100 feet away from the school near you.
A UFC fighter recently announced he has plans to homeschool his son so he doesn't turn gay. Although if he really wants to keep his son from turning gay, he should probably stop taking him to work with him. Also, this kid's kind of got it made. He doesn't need to search boys kissing on Google. He can just look up his dad's highlight reels if he wants gay porn. Ticketmaster was hacked last week and they issued a warning that users' private credit card information may have been leaked. Fuck that. I just don't want them to see my search history.
A bar in Boise, Idaho is celebrating Heterosexual Awesomeness Month. The bar's owner will buy a drink for any heterosexual male who comes in dressed as a heterosexual male, whatever that means. And he wants to clarify only men serving daddy butch realness in a straight way get a drink. He's not buying men drinks in a gay way, no homo. Every Wednesday, he will pay for a portion of every heterosexual couple's bill. His plan? To stake out the bar, wait for an attractive heterosexual couple to come in, then he'll make eye contact with them for precisely 15 minutes. And once they're picking up what he's putting down, he'll hit them with the, "Hey, I saw you from across the bar and I really like your heterosexual vibe. Mind if I pay for your meal?" And then they'll go home and fuck.
Seattle Chief of Police Adrian Diaz came out as gay last week. And every single person in Seattle came out as not gay enough to fuck Adrian Diaz. Seattleites also mutually agreed that homophobia is okay in some dire, extreme circumstances. This is that dire, extreme circumstance. Fuck Adrian Diaz, and not in the way he wants to be fucked.
A neo-Nazi who targeted drag queen Story Hours was convicted of child pornography. Wow, can you spell projection? It's right there if not, because we know he can't. Seems like he didn't want drag queens reading picture books to children. He'd rather be reading picture books of children.
Disney celebrated Pride this month with a parade led by the world's most heterosexual rodents. If they really cared about elevating queer voices, they would have let this guy lead the parade. Or them. Are they brothers? Are they dating? I ask myself this about almost every gay couple I know. Or spice things up, Disney, and feature this iconic twink-handler duo. Or this beautiful interracial couple. We all know Timon is the original Bratty Bottom, by the way, because Pumbaa would not be bottoming, not with his IBS condition.
Even though Disney is willing to capitalize off of Pride, charging $159 per ticket to the Pride Night event, which was sold out, they're still sending money to conservative politicians who are successfully eroding queer and trans rights across the U.S. While it's true Disney backed away from supporting politicians like Ron DeSantis, who was especially grumpy after they dropped their support, and even sued them and passed a new law no longer letting them be tax exempt in Florida. 2024 seems to be the House of Mouse's return to politics.
The most recent campaign filings show Disney has shelled out $87,000 to political committees, including $16,000 to Florida Farmers and Ranchers United, a group of cucks who quiver in the presence of Florida State Senator and high school mean girl God forgot to give a lip to, Josie Tomcow.
They also gave $10,000 to Florida Senator Jason Braddour, a Ted Cruz light, who was also the secret love child of Gypsy Rose Blanchard and her ex-fiancé, and Joseph Reuters. And this is an unedited photo of him. We did not use the face pinch Snapchat filter. Hashtag no filter. This is just how he looks. He kind of looks like he's got a secret behind those teeth. Perhaps that's where everyone's upper lips are hiding. He really looks like some weird in-between human beaver hybrid that you would see on the cover of Animorphs.
All three of these human toes come to life have used their power to support the Parental Rights and Education Act, also known as the Don't Say Gay Bill, which now prohibits classroom discussion or instruction about sexuality or gender identity from K through 12. This law also requires teachers to out students to their parents or guardians if they come out as queer or trans at school. Children in Florida can't learn about gender or sexuality in school, but they can still pay to celebrate it in Disney World.
Disney later came forward to condemn the Don't Say Gay Bill, but only after receiving extreme backlash from queer Disney adults who just wanted to write It's a Small World and Disney Bound in Peace.
Disney is one of the largest political donors in the state of Florida, having donated $55 million in the last 28 years. This money has been essential in getting officials like Ron DeSantis elected.
Behind closed doors, Disney has seemed to smooth over the feud with Ron DeSantis, the real closeted Disney villain, much like Bradley Uppercrust III. Hashtag Max Lee for life. Just this month, they reached an agreement with Ron DeSantis where the company can invest $17 billion into their newest park without government interference for the next 15 years.
In a shareholder meeting earlier this year, a proposal which would require Disney to be more transparent about its political donations was voted down, which will make it much harder for the public to track who Mickey is giving his money to. Disney is happy to take queer people's money and profit off Pride merchandise, but what they won't tell you is that they're shoving that money right up Ron DeSantis' ass.
Like a putting chemicals in the water.